Okay, so this is the last game I'll be talking about because this is one of the last games that I'm playing out of the main four. It's in the Zone Zero. And really and truly, I had a lot of hate for this game, actually. Really, really a lot of hate for this game. I used to hate the TV system. I still hate the TV system to some extent. And the way they use the TV system as a means to tell the story. And I guess I did stick through it because there are aspects of this game that I really like. I like the fan service. I really enjoy the fan service, animations and stuff like that. And that is one of the reasons why I decided to stick through the game until the end of the content to see if I was really going to enjoy it over time. And I guess I can say for sure I enjoyed over time. I The negativities. The only negativity that I think is with this game, Zenless on Zero, is that you have to force yourself to go through the. Wait a minute. What should I use here? Let's walk around with new character. Newly get. I can't zoom in. That's another problem. How is this? Okay, that's worth it. I had to go to extreme hard pretty for this character to. Um, The only negativity I have is in Zone Zero is that you have to stick through this TV system for the first half of the story in order to get to the part where the story is actually tell really good and a lot better than how it was before. The TV system will be a little pain in the neck, but apart from that, everything else is okay. So I'm gonna change this up a little bit and say this is one of the games that I enjoyed the most recently. And that is because the storytelling is really good. It's a really good storytelling compared to every other game that is the main for Zenless Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and Modern Ways. It is the best storytelling because of the facial expressions, because of the storytelling is short and precise. You don't feel like it's like trying to fill the story with a lot of words to make you spend more time in the game. It really values your time in the game because the combat is like a few minutes or seconds if you build your team correctly. And I see they have been making changes to end game content or even story content and upping the difficulty of certain bosses. Specifically Hugo, when I fought him, I realized that I had to actually put in effort, which was not the case for every other boss that I have played against in this game recently. And I find that very interesting and a welcome change, actually. Do I think this game is gonna get hardcore like Wooden Race? I don't think so. I think however's understand that it's better to appeal to majority of players rather than the sweaty players that will spend a lot of money on the game just to beat in-game content so that they can say that they're the best because they have the E6 S5 unit like Tectone to beat the in-game content. So I think when it comes down to the storytelling, this is the best storytelling so far currently. It is absolutely beautiful the way how Zenazone Zero came from being one of the worst storytelling with the TV system to now completely getting rid of the stories, the TV system, and actually telling really good stories with really good cutscenes and animations. Yeah, you have the slides where they talk for a bit, yes, but the voice acting as well has been really, really good. Each voice actor feels like the character. They are the character or they are embracing the character. I know, unfortunately, because of the voice actor strikes, some characters are being revoiced, and I blame the voice actors in that regard. They should have come to the table with the company, with their agent, and figure out a way to start voicing these characters, either side cutting. Because if they say the organization is what's keeping them down, they should have just sidestepped the organization and tried to contact Miyoho directly, but they didn't, and that's all on their fault. And that's them to decide that they wanted to strike because AI, they don't want AI to voice their to scrap their voice, when unfortunately their voice is being scrapped on TikTok, their voice is being scrapped on YouTube, their voice is being scrapped by AI no matter what. It's like an inevitable. It's like something that is definitely going to happen regardless, I should say. So them deciding that they're gonna strike, affecting millions of players that really enjoy the English voice acting, to having to switch to Japanese in order to have a little bit of voice acting, because it has been a terrible incident, and it has been affecting most Genshin Impact, and even stopped me from completing certain quests because of the lack of voice acting and my refusal to switch to Japanese. I have to switch to Japanese in the next upcoming update in Genshin Impact, because it seems like there won't be any, or missing a lot of English voice actors, which is so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate, bro. But overall, as I can say, the storytelling in Xenozone Zero has been the best. It has been short. It's not like overly bloated. It has been entertaining. There's a lot of dark stuff that's happening in the story as well. Deaths and it, not by main characters, obviously, yes. But oh wait, scratch that. I won't spoil it, but this has been the best storytelling that I've seen so far out of the main four. It has been really that good, actually. I can't believe I'm saying that. And I am one that was overly negative about Xenozone Zero the first time. And I decided that, you know what? I'm going to give Xenozone Zero a chance. And I'm going to play out the story to the end and see if it actually really gets better. But there are negatives with it, that you have to sit through so much bad things in order to get to the good stuff. And I would like them to redo the past events and make it better for new common players, so that they don't experience the horrible situation of the TV events. But I don't think they will do that. So there's that. I've never, I didn't talk about end game content, and end game content is accessible to everybody. Like, you can clear end game content with whoever you want, and many people might see this as a negativity, but I actually see this as a positivity, because these games should be played with enjoying the character that you pull for. And say I pull for Trigger, I pull for Jane Doe, I pull for the hot woman. I expect to clear the endgame content with those hot women, with the characters that I really enjoy. There's some team building to it, yes, I know, but you can actually clear the content without focusing too much on team building. And I think that is totally fine and totally reasonable. And I don't think we need to have 100 Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves can be the game that, yeah, hardcore for everybody, and I completely understand that. But if Honkai Star Rail is another hardcore game, I can guess it's really hardcore. You have to be highly invested in order to play endgame in that one. But having Genshin Impact, having Zenless Zero not being so hardcore, I think that is totally fine. I have no complaints about that whatsoever, really. So I am afraid to use this character to walk around with, because the last time I made a video about her, I got age restricted. Oh my god, I'm afraid to walk around with this character, because I know what it implements. Oh my god. Alright, the next thing we have to talk about, as I said, the end game. The end game is okay. You can clear the end game easily. or somewhat easily. Just building two teams that you like, and you'll be fine. So I think the base. I don't think the end games need to be ridiculously hard. I don't think we need to be in our basements or wherever you are and sweating on all four games all day long because all of the games is completely hard and to complete the end game. I don't think they need to go to the route where Onkai Star went, where the difference between story bosses and end game bosses is ridiculously wide, the gap between both of them. And I think they can buff it a little bit, but I hope they don't go the HP inflation way. We just have to hope that they don't mess it up. Right now, the way Endgame is totally fine. The rewards. Um, hmm. I don't remember the rewards for the last patch. I don't even think we're an adversary yet, right? I think it's a normal patch. So the rewards are really good, honestly, for what it is. Yes, I there are things that I don't like. I don't like that I have to hit the extreme pity in order to wait a minute. I hate neighbors. Um, I had to hit the extreme pity search history. So this is trigger the last player that I pulled. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. And this was a lost 50-50 as well. I lost to Nekomata. I wanted the character, yes, but I lost it. And well, it's not really a good example, but you get what I mean here. Sometimes the luck is not for everybody. I understand that. And banners, I have to say, they're not doing the new trend where we have the multi-banner thing coming from the other three games, which is okay. I like that fact. So there's nothing much to complain about the banners and the amount of pulls you get doing the Withering Wave strategy of counting the events pulls and everything else. It's good, really good for free to plays when counting the amount of banners we have in this game, which is just one new character and then one free pull and new 4 stars that are available that are really good for teams. They don't feel like the 4 stars are terribly really bad compared to the 5 star units. It's okay, honestly. So I think that covers everything really. I'm really, really enjoying this game. And the fact that there's so many hot characters in this game. I really, really, really like that. And I just pull for waifus, man. I'm just gonna be honest. And I can clear the end game whenever I feel like I want to clear it. I just go and use it when I want to pull a character. I had to do endgame not because I really wanted to, but because I was trying to pull for trigger, and the pity was just not having it. They really didn't want me to have that character for some reason. Um, I need to look into that. Why they didn't want me to have this character. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I am really enjoying Zenless Zone Zero. That's all I have to say. And I'm really glad that because there was a point where I was really considering because Anatia and the other game, what's the other game? Azure Familiar is coming out. very soon. And these are two games that I'm going to have, and I may have to remove one of the games that I currently play. And my initial thought was I might have to remove zenless Zone Zero. And in my defense, I say, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance, and I am going to actually play it first, the entire story, and then after I'll think about it and see what are if I should decide on, you know, I might as well I remove this game because there's nothing that is appealing to me. That's the same place that at with Zen Weather and Waves right now, and I am going to see if I can finish the story in Weather and Waves and see if I really enjoy it, because I'm not really somebody that's really focused on like the game has to be ultra difficult so I can enjoy it and me waiting on the game. I enjoy the story of a game and how much it values my time, and I don't want to spend 10 hours or 20 hours on one single game. I really don't like that fact. I have a lot of games that I want to play outside of these four games. I have car games I want to play, I have fighting games I want to play. I still have Demon Slayer Chronicle game that I want to play. There's a lot of games that I want to play, and I can't be a full-time Kurobot employee or a full-time Hoyoverse employee where I only play Hoyoverse games or I only play Kurobot games. There's a Pokemon game that Hoyoverse is making. I'm very interested in that because I do like Pokemon. I still play Pokemon to this day. Why am I ranting? Anyways, Zenless Zone Zero for me takes the cake of the best gacha game of this year. And I think they still hold strong as one of the best and still the best of this genre because everything so far they have been doing really really well. The story is really really good. Funny, there's a lot of dirty jokes in it, which I really like. It has been a fun playthrough. I can say that without, and I'm not being biased at all. I'm not being biased at all. If you know my channel, you know that I made a very, very critical video on this same game in particular and how I hated it and how I wanted to delete it. So if you see me coming back and saying that this game have done really well, you know that I'm not doing this just to promote Hoyoverse and stuff like that. I'm doing that because I honestly think that is the situation here. I'm genuinely enjoying this game. I think the two characters that got replaced with voice acting is Rena and Grace. I don't have Grace. I would love to lose the 50-50 to Grace, but I don't have Grace yet. And I wish I did pull this character, Miyabi, because the animations are really cool. But I didn't pull her because I follow the path of degeneracy and not meta. We'll see, you know. We'll see. I can get it. Like I have like teams set up for the characters that I want. I think I don't like this though. I don't like that I have to go all the way in here just to look at my preset teams. I really don't like that. I have this team specifically made for Miyabi when Miyabi comes back, and I think every other team is full. I think, yeah, I found a way to put Trigger into a team. I play this game basically with the characters that I like and finding ways to make them work. And I think that is the best way for any game to build themselves. Honkai Star Rail is a turn based, so I can understand why it's a little bit more restrictive that you have to have the correct units. But I don't like the fact that sometimes if you don't have the correct unit or you can't manipulate the bug or not the bug, the buff that is for the particular MOC, it will be a little bit difficult for you to clear the game. But that's all I have to say about this. It has been a long video, and I really have to give flowers where flowers are due. And in my opinion, zenless Zone Zero has done tremendous work, fantastic work, and I look forward to playing them in the future. It's definitely one of the games that I won't be deleting because of how good they have come from where they were before. I can't say the same for Within Waves though, particularly because I really don't like the fact that many of these Within Waves content creators gave unnecessary shit to Zenless Zone Zero, to HSR, and all these other games made by Hoyo, while when their rewards are much more terrible than ours, they push it under the rug and make it look like it's not that bad, you know? It is unfortunate. I'm gonna take this bus and see you guys next time.